Hi ladies, my name is Bethany Herway and I'm the Glamorous Housewife. Today I'm going to show you my favorite trick when I'm kind of bored of all of the regular meals that I cook practically every single day. People can only eat, spaghetti and meatballs so many times before you have mutiny on your hands. So when that happens, I end up usually at my grocery store trying to get inspiration, and I usually find it on the magazine rack. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorites, which is cooking light. Now, the reason I like cooking light is because they have healthy, delicious, easy, and quick meals that I can make in a short amount of time. I usually only take 30 minutes tops to make dinner. I really don't have any other time other than that. And it's a monthly magazine, but every now and again they come out with a kind of a cross between a book and a magazine. It's thicker than their usual. And this one is called Cooking Light Super Easy Recipe Shortcuts. I was very excited because I like super easy and I like shortcuts, am I right? So the meal I'm going to cook for you today comes from this magazine. It originally is steak with hoisin sauce. Now, my husband doesn't eat steak, which essentially means I don't eat steak, at least at home. So I am doing almost exactly the same recipe, but instead of using steak, I'm going to use chicken. So let's get started. The first thing I do is kind of marinate my chicken to let those flavors develop and give it a really nice flavor. So to make this sauce, you are going to need 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. Now, hoisin sauce is an Asian kind of condiment. It's sweet and savory, and it's got a flavor that I think is very reminiscent of raisins, strangely, but it's very delicious and is used a lot. Quite often in chicken cashew. I don't know if you've ever made it, but I always make mine with hoisin sauce. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. Now, fish sauce isn't something that most people have in their pantries necessarily, but I love it because it gives a very authentic kind of Asian flavor. It is incredibly salty, and then it's got an undertone of a savory sort of fishy flavor. If this doesn't sound good to you, you can always substitute soy sauce. Very common. So throw that in. Next, I have a teaspoon of garlic. Now, I know the garlic looks weird because it's in these 2 squares. I prefer to use my garlic, I get them in these frozen squares and just pop them out and let them defrost, and that way I don't get that garlicky flavor on my hand, and it's also a lot quicker. But of course, you can use fresh. So that goes in. Next, we have 1 teaspoon of ginger. Freshly grated ginger. Now, mine's actually not freshly grated at all. I use a tube of ginger because I was finding whenever I would buy the nodules, my grocery store you have to buy like big nodules, and I was only using this much, throwing it back in the refrigerator, and then I was getting these tough, little kind of dried up twigs at the back of my refrigerator. So this is sort of what I do now. It's a tube, sort of like toothpaste, and you squeeze it out into the size you need, and it's ready to go. And I found that's working for me right now. Last but not least, I'm using a little bit of hot sauce. The original recipe called for a pinch of pepper flakes, which you are more than welcome to use, but I think pepper flakes taste better on a steak than it does on chicken. But the hot sauce will give you that same kind of heat in the background after you cook your chicken. So I'm just mixing the sauce around, making a nice sort of a cross between a sauce and a paste. And then I'm going to throw in my chicken. Now, I am using chicken breasts that I've cut into tenders because I find it cooks quicker, which I'm always looking to save time, and it coats, you get more of the flavoring because it's coating, all 4 sides instead of having just one big breast with coating on the top and on the bottom. So I throw all of that in, mix it around, making sure every inch is covered. Oh yeah, I can already smell the hoisin. Oh, it smells very good. And oh, I can smell the garlic now too. So there you go, it's all covered, and then I just let that kind of sit to the side while I make my salad. For the salad, I like to combine a few vegetables with a bright, fresh, Asian flavored dressing, and it goes perfectly with the chicken. So let me show you how to do that. I start with the chopped up cucumbers. You can use English cucumbers or Persian cucumbers for this. And if you use those, you don't need to peel or seed it. If you're using the old-fashioned kind of cucumbers, I would peel it and de-seed it. You don't need that. And then I love radishes. I think they give a bright, sort of savory pop with a little spicy. There's a reason horseradish, you know how spicy that is? They call it a radish for a reason. So these little radishes, I got sort of these multicolored ones, have that same flavor but much lighter, and it just gives a nice pop and crunch to your salad. Then on top of that, I use chopped cilantro. I am a big cilantro fan. It doesn't taste like soap to me at all. But if unfortunately you're one of those people who can't stand cilantro, this salad in particular is good to substitute either fresh mint or fresh basil or both. And as a matter of fact, if you have it in the house, feel free to add those to the salad. It's delicious. Now for the dressing, I have 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame seed oil, which is one of my favorite Asian condiments. You don't use it the same as you would with olive oil, where you use quite a bit of it. This is so pungent and so flavorful, a little bit goes a long way. And then, of course, soy sauce, ubiquitous in Asian cooking. And that's going to give you sort of a salty umami, which is savory in Japanese flavor. And then this is rice vinegar, which is going to give you that acid, a little bit of sweetness, and a whole lot of flavor. And then you just toss it. Now, I don't know about you, sometimes I use a spoon and fork, but I like to toss it with my hands, just to make sure everything gets in there, nice and good. Okay, now let me try it. Delicious. I'm getting that hit of acid right away from the vinegar, and then underneath it, the savory notes of both the oil and the soy sauce. So there you have it. This is your side dish. Now we are going to go take the chicken and grill it up. So let's go do that. Oh yeah, it smells so good. I want to sit down and eat it all right now. I mainly smell the savory, kind of smoky, delicious, sweet flavor from the hoisin sauce. And I know because I've tasted it before that you're going to get a little bit of heat that we put in from the hot sauce. As you can see, I like to serve my chicken a plain bed of rice. I think it is a nice, kind of plain offering for the chicken. Plus, who doesn't like chicken and rice? I know my kids do. And then, of course, I serve it with a salad. This gives a nice, clean, fresh, and bright component to go with the more savory, smoky flavor of the chicken. And then, last but not least, I like to kind of put a little more cilantro, maybe to make it look pretty. We eat with our eyes. And there you have it, a wonderful, delicious, and healthy recipe, which was inspired by Cooking Like magazine. I hope you enjoyed this dinner, and I hope you go out and make it tonight for your family. Come on by my blog, The Glamorous Housewife, and let me